Hello everyone and welcome along to another edition of Weekend Winners. Great to have your company, and I'm joined by co-host Luke Bowden. How are you, Luke?
Good, thank you, Damo. Now, look, we've been off the airways for far too long, but we haven't just been sitting in the saddle and resting on our laurels. Been really busy behind the scenes. Some exciting content coming up for the punters in the lead up to Melbourne Cup week. You did a fantastic interview with dual Melbourne Cup winning jockey Johnny Letts a couple of weeks ago, which is great. And also, in your absence the other week, I did the tips up at Devonport, got 3 out of 7 winners. How'd I go, mate?
Still learning, but I'll give you a little tick for that one. Well done.
Thank you very much.
It'll be interesting, the interview we did with John a couple of weeks ago when he was in town. He's the one of the ambassadors for the Melbourne Cup, and of course he paraded with the Melbourne Cup, with the Piping Lane's Melbourne Cup. It's this year, of course, we celebrate 40 years since Piping Lane won the Melbourne Cup back in 1972. And we caught up with Lettsy, and that'll be a great interview, and that'll be coming up just prior to the Melbourne Cup.
Excellent. Now, obviously the big one is Caulfield Cup on Saturday. What do you like the look of over there?
Spring is in the air. The good horses have been racing for a few weekends now, and of course we get into the business side of things. A horse that we put in the black book a few weeks ago, MAGNIER, lightly raced. He's only had the 4 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds. He's yet to win in the city. He's had 2 starts at Caulfield for 2 seconds. They took him to Ballarat last week for a little kill. He got the money quite easily. That'll give the horse a lot of confidence. And it's in on Saturday. Race 2, number 5, MAGNIER, Vlad Jurek to ride. Barrier 6, there's a bit of speed in the race. He's certain to get a really economical run throughout the race, and I think whatever beats MAGNIER will win. So we'll go race 2, number 5, MAGNIER, and we can back it each way.
Now, for the big dance, what do we like in the Caulfield Cup?
I like a couple here. Last year's favourite, December Draw. It started the $3.30 favourite last year, and it had an injury during the run and was tailed off, got beaten 25 lengths. This year it's had 3 runs back in from a spell. Its last 2 have been tremendous in the Underwood and also the Turnbull Stakes. This Cup this year is wide open like the Sydney Heads. There is plenty of speed in the race, so it's going to be a pretty genuine run race over the 1.5 miles. I can see this horse getting a lovely run. Barrier 12, he'll slip across somewhere, probably in the first half dozen, maybe a little bit further back than that, but not much further back. And he's going on his 2 runs in the Underwood and the Turnbull. He's certainly going to be in the finish. And Michael Rod to ride, I think he's one of the better distance jockeys we have here in the country, and drops 2.5 kilos. So a real good bet. Tatsbet have him at $7. I think he's been $8.50 into 7 since the barrier draw. And he's certainly going to be hard to beat. And there's a roughie in this race as well.
Sabillionaire.
Tasmanian boy Craig Newitt aboard. This is the South Australian Derby winner in May. That was over 2,500 metres, so we know he's proven.
He can run the distance.
He's proven at the distance. And he's another that's going to get a good run. He went to Queensland for the Queensland Derby, and just forget he went around there. He had no luck at all. He drops 4.5 kilos on his last start performance behind Green Moon. He finished 14th on that occasion, but if you watch the replay, he never got a clear crack at all.
Rock the Pegs, a billionaire. He couldn't shoot them with a gun at this stage. He's a long way back. Then Scream Machine, Varnavai. He's in the same bat as the billionaire.
Now we've got one really interesting piece of information for the punters as well, Damo, about Sabillionaire. Out of the last 13 years, since 1999, there's been 9 winners that have been 4-year-olds. Sabillionaire's only one of 2 4-year-olds racing on Saturday, so that's got to be worth something, doesn't it?
Certainly has, and history tells you that 4-year-olds have a great record, so Sabillionaire fits into that category, so that's another reason to have something on Sabillionaire.
And a must for trifectas.
For sure and certain, has to go in.
Definitely. Now, Hobart on Sunday, out at ELWICK, what have we got out there?
Yeah, the rail is, strangely enough, out 6 metres this week, so I'm not certain how this is going to fare, but anyhow, we'll do our best. Race 1, number 1, Not Another Red. It's only had the 1 race start and finished behind the smart Mr. John, which won at Devonport last week. That was back in June, started favourite. It's had 2 trials, 2 soft trials for mine. I think this horse is above average and should have plenty to offer. So race 1, number 1, and that is Not Another Red. And the Charlie Goggin, Llewellyn Meeburn, father and daughter combination, the hottest training combination in Tasmania at the moment. Whatever they put a bridle on is doing really well, and that's good for them coming into the Tasmanian Summer Carnival.
Well, definitely, because you've also got a roughie. It's also trained by Charlie and Llewellyn on toast.
Yes, 2 starts this preparation, and there was a noted improvement when finishing 4th last start. No closer than 3 wide the trip. Was very wide on the home turn. A significant riding change this week. Steve Maskill jumps aboard. Race 2, number 7, On Toast.
Here's Bag of Monkeys joining in, and Shroud is running on. Bag of Monkeys hit the front On Toast, coming home late. Bag of Monkeys in front near the line though, and Bag of Monkeys won from end. Shroud to Butcher, On Toast, Stephen
Now quickly, we've got harness racing up north on Sunday as well. What do you got for us up there?
2 bets up there. Race 4, number 1, and that is CISKE, Barry Rat Trader Drive. And in race 8, number 1, Glory is Elusive. I think it's the best each way. So race 4, number 1, race 8, number 1.
Excellent.
Now time for your lucky long shot. What have you got for us this week, Luke?
Race number 1, number 4 out at ELWICK on Sunday, running up against your Not Another Red. It's Constant Velocity, ridden by Bullet Muchu. Trailed really well on Tuesday, you called it, and also trained by Mark Everett, and my father's Mark Everett Bowden, so there's just too many positives for me there not to get on it. So looking for Constant Velocity to notch up its first victory in the winners book.
Caulfield Cup, we touched on it earlier on. You're pretty keen on December draw as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, that's about it for our show this week. Don't forget to tune in next week for Weekend Winners when we have a chat with Johnny Letts. You had the pleasure of meeting him a few weeks ago when the cup was in town. He's a real character, and we'll catch up with him next week on Weekend Winners. And don't forget, the more they win, the better the prize.